One of the phenomena that you'll come across in law school is what's called a gunner.
Gunners, and you'll recognize them on the first day. They're the people who, they can't keep their mouth shut.
I had never heard that expression before going to law school, but it describes the person who feels obliged to answer every single question the professor asks.
And maybe they're brilliant, and maybe they're not, but you're definitely going to hear from them either way.
These people always raise their hand.
Ooh, call on me.
They raise it 4 or 5 times during an hour class.
And at times there may be valid arguments, but at the end of the day, why don't you save those arguments for after class, so that everyone else doesn't have to sit there and listen to you talk all the time.
If you crunch the numbers and find out how much you're paying for that class, you feel like they just took $20 out of your pocket because you've got a certain amount of time and they just spent 5 minutes taking the professor down on this other line of reasoning that was totally irrelevant, and they're doing it to look good, but now it's like you're paying them to look good. Found out through some friends that I had gotten a reputation as a gunner. Completely misunderstood. Here's me not understanding the material, seeking to understand the material, and here's them thinking, well, this guy's just showing off now.
But I also think, though, you can be a gunner from a good position. I think you can be a gunner because you're truly interested in what you're talking about or what you're learning. I mean, that latter part is definitely dismissed or not even thought about.
I raise my hand to ask a question and try and do so in an intelligent manner, and it sounded like I was questioning the professor. And all it was me saying, hey, how would this play out in this situation?
As far as speaking in class is concerned, I'm a believer that less is more. I don't want to hear from you every day, and 99% of my classmates agree.
Even if that person has something extremely intelligent and worthwhile to contribute to the conversation, you still get tired of hearing the same person just shoot their hand up and be the one that wants to blurt out the answer all the time.
Every class has them, and everyone else absolutely hates them.
If, by the middle of first semester, you don't know who the jackass is in your class, it's probably you.
Not only do you alienate your classmates with that, you exasperate your professor with that, you don't up your grades, particularly as a 1L. Grading is blind. So that means that no matter how much you talk in class, it's not going to make a difference on exam day.
You're going to be thinking for the first semester of school that these are the smartest people you've ever met in your life. How could they have thought of that?
And then something happens second semester. Grades come out, and there's an enormous change that happens. Many of those people who were raising their hand have shut up.
Just because you raise your hand and talk and contribute to the discussion all the time doesn't mean you're any smarter than anybody else, and it doesn't mean your grades are any better.
I came out of my first semester thinking that I was literally the dumbest kid in the class, and I did really well on my finals, and it blew me away because it doesn't matter so much as to how much I knew in class or how much I could say, or if I was put on the spot, if I could answer the professor's question, but how well I applied it when it came down to a test.
A lot of times it's the quiet ones. It's the ones that you don't know anything about, that you just kind of assumed in coming into it that they weren't saying anything because they didn't know the answers, because they had no idea what was going on. But in all actuality, these were the ones that you had to watch out for from day one.